Very, very good morning to all of you, my friends. Welcome back. So, I hope you guys have revised what I have discussed till now. Let me give you a brief about what I've discussed in the previous session. So, we started with material costing, one of the major element of the cost, wherein we discussed what is material. It's a physical object or a commodity that is used in manufacturing a product. Material can be classified in two parts, that is direct material and indirect material. Direct material, the material that is directly attributable in manufacturing a product and have some significant value is direct material. And when talking about indirect material, the material that play a supporting role in manufacturing a product is indirect material. Thereafter, we discuss the summary of the chapter wherein we discuss that what all points we'll be discussing. Thereafter, we started with the first part of the chapter wherein we discussed in detail how to procure a material, what all bills or challans that are needed to be issued for procurement of material. So that part is over. Thereafter, we started with at what value the material will be recorded in books of accounts. So herein, as I said, that apart from the price that is paid to the supplier, whatever the costs that are incurred till the factory gate will form part of cost of material. So there are few points that are given in study material. So we have discussed few points from the study material. So let's start. Let me open the study material first. So good morning everyone. Yes, I know GST खत्म हो गया था. Good morning everyone. Now see, let's take a quick review of what we have discussed in the previous session relating to valuation of material. The first point, what we discussed is trade discount. Yes, it is to be deducted while calculating the cost of material. Second point is quantity discount. Yes, it need to be deducted while calculating the cost of material. Cash discount, being a conditional discount, not to be deducted. Subsidies or grant that are received from government, it is to be deducted while calculating the cost of material. For the road tax and toll tax, yes, if it is borne by the buyer, if it is paid from our pocket, it will be added to the cost of material. If it is not borne by us, if it is borne by the supplier, then we have to ignore it. Thereafter, the most important point, that is GST, goods and service tax. Very important. If the duty credit is available, ignore it. If the duty credit is not available, then add it to the cost of raw material. So till now, these are the points what we discussed. If you guys have any doubts till now, you guys can please post your query, else we will start with the next part. So those who are over portal, yes. Good morning, Ms. Chatterjee. Those who are over portal also, they can post their queries over the portal. Those who are over Zoom can post the queries over Zoom. So let's start now with the next part, that is custom duty. Now, the concept of custom duty is same just like GST. The same way, when talking about custom duty also, again guys, before starting with this session, very important, whatever the conceptual part I'm explaining, do copy in your notebook. Further, apart from copy, do write comments that this is what I have understood from this concept. Again, What you will write, you will remember it forever. So I repeat again, whatever the concepts I am discussing, whatever it is, do write in your notebook. Along with the session, keep on writing in your notebook that this is what I have understood from this concept. So again, every time you can't view the recorded lecture, the point is very simple. Just write in your notebook so that while revising, it will be helpful for you. So now when talking about the custom duty, again, the concept is same. If duty credit is available, then ignore custom duty paid on imports. Generally, custom duty is paid on import of goods. So whatever the custom duty that is paid, very good, Priyanka. So if the duty credit is available, just like GST, ignore the custom duty paid on imports. However, if duty credit is not available, if duty credit is not available, add the custom duty paid. It will be added to the cost of raw material. So the concept is same, just like GST. Those who want to copy it can please copy. It's up to you, Deepdas. I'll be taking most of the session of costing, apart from 2-3 chapters. I'll be taking care of the most of the chapters of costing. So you can prepare only one notebook, that is more than sufficient. Now the question is silent that if, see, now if the duty credit is available or not available. Now what in case if the question is silent? My point is, this point is not given in study material. So it's a basic assumption. So I'm writing it. Very important, guys. What if in case, see, agar question clearly specify karta hai duty credit is available, duty credit is not available, you guys know the provisions. But my point is, what if in case if the question is silent? If the question is silent about duty credit, what if in case the question is silent about the availability of duty credit? So in case of GST, you have to assume duty credit is available. And in case of custom duty, assume duty credit is not available. So if the question is silent, in case of GST, we will assume that the duty credit is available. And in case of custom duty, we will assume that the duty credit is not available. Yukta, if the duty credit is available in case of custom duty, ignore the import duty paid. Add करके less करने की बजाय better ignore it. But if the duty credit is not available, just like GST, add the custom duty paid in the cost of raw material. No, there are various rules, Rajveer Rai. for availment of credit in case of custom duty. In fact, for imports and export, you need a import-export license. So anyways, you are registered, but there are certain terms and conditions that need to be satisfied for duty credit. We call it as DEPB credit or target plus license scheme, whatever it is. So there are various government schemes for duty credit. That's it. Okay, Dharani, just write a footnote what you have assumed. The answer will be correct. If the question is silent, do write it, that this is what I'm assuming. See, there are various terms and conditions that need to be satisfied, Rohan, for availment of credit in case of custom duty. In fact, in rare cases only, the custom duty paid credit is available. So that's why we are assuming that the duty credit is not available. I hope, Rohan, your query is resolved. Anyone over the portal? Yes, Mahalakshmi, you have to mention it in the footnote. Saroj Singh, good morning. I hope, Rohan, your query is resolved. The duty credit in case of custom is available in rare cases. It's not practically possible for everyone to avail duty credit. There are many terms and conditions that need to be satisfied. Further, the duty credit is available only in case of specific goods. That too also there are many restrictions. So anyways, in general cases, the duty credit is not available in case of customs. Yes, well said, Yukta. Anyways, let's proceed further. So we are done with road tax and toll tax. We are done with GST. We are done with custom duty. Now, next is penalty charges. Penalty charges or any sort of abnormal cost. Penalties, charges, detention charges, fines, demurrage charges, by whatever name called. Any sort of abnormal cost is not to be added in the cost of raw material. कोई भी तरह का penalty या fine levy हुआ है for anything, anything, any sort of delay in submission of documents or wrong submissions of document or whatever it is, or I mean, अगर आप कोई कानून तोड़ते हैं, whatever it is. So any sort of penalty, fine, demurrage charges, detention charges, by whatever name called, any sort of abnormal cost will not form part of cost of raw material. So demurrage charges, it will not be added to the cost of raw material. Detention charges not to be added in the cost of raw material. Any sort of penalties and fines will not be added to the cost of raw material. If you guys have any doubts till now, you guys can please post your query. Nothing is related to the yesterday's webinar, sorry. See, when talking about demurrage charges, one of the students raised a query that, sir, what is demurrage charges? See, suppose I'm the manufacturer of wooden furniture. I'm the manufacturer of wooden furniture and I have imported wood from Indonesia. अब इंडोनेशिया से wood आया और let's say it's there on the Bombay port. Now, because of some or other reason, I was not being able to furnish the document and release my wood from the custom warehouse. I repeat again, Indonesia se wood aaya, they have kept in custom warehouse. So for certain days, they will not levy the charges, but after certain days, the godown belongs to the custom authority. So they will be charging some sort of fine or penalty that हम लोगों ने जो है हमारा wood जो है release नहीं करवाया. So the fine or penalty that is levied for, we can say, the storage of goods in custom warehouse more than a legitimate time, we call it as demurrage charges. Rosie, no need to attend webinar. It's not for you. Further, detention charges, if you are not complying with any provisions of law, whatever it is, then the detention charges will be levied. In short, keep the thing simple. Any sort of penalties, damages, demurrage charges, या कोई भी तरह का abnormal cost levy होता है, it will not be added to the cost of raw material. Yes. Mahalakshmi, I have already explained डिमरेज चार्जेस कि अगर आप कोई भी चीज इंपोर्ट करते हैं और वो कस्टम वेयर हाउस में पड़ा रहता है, सपोज 1 महीने से पड़ा है, तो वेयर हाउस हमारा नहीं है, इट्स फॉर द कस्टम अथॉरिटीज, इट्स ऑफ द कस्टम पोर्ट अथॉरिटीज. So they do levy some sort of charges for storing our product or storing our imported goods. So the charges, fines or penalties, whatever we are paying to the custom authorities is what we call as demurrage charges. So let's proceed further with the next part. Now, the next is insurance charges. Very important. Transit insurance charges is to be added to the cost of material. Very important. Insurance charges are paid for protecting the goods during transit. So it is added in the cost of raw material. Commission or brokerage paid on purchase of goods, again, it will be added to the cost of raw material. Freight inwards or carriage inward, by whatever name called, it will be added to the cost of raw material. So transit insurance charges, if we are booking an insurance, if the goods are of such a nature that the insurance is needed, so whatever the insurance charges paid for bringing the goods to our factory, we call it as transit insurance. It will be added to the cost of material. Commission or brokerage paid on purchase of goods, it will be added to the cost of raw material. Freight inward, गाड़ी भाड़ा, again it will be added to the cost of raw material. Rosie, we are discussing the first chapter, the practical chapter, that is material costing. So next is cost of containers. The next point is cost of containers. Returnable and non-returnable containers. वो कंटेनर्स जो हम लोग वापस रिटर्न कर सकते हैं और वो कंटेनर्स जो हम लोग वापस रिटर्न नहीं कर सकते. So returnable and non-returnable containers. So let's take an example wherein I purchased a material X for 1 lakh rupees. Further, the container, that is the container cost, we can say the goods, the container in which the goods are packed, it is, let's say, 5,000. Total bill is of 1,05,000, and it is given in the note that containers are non-returnable. Containers are non-returnable. Now, in this case, containers हम लोग return नहीं कर सकते. So it means what? 5,000, whatever the paid amount that is paid to the supplier, will form part of cost of raw material, and the total cost or value will be recording in books of accounts, will be how much? 1,05,000. Because again, the goods are of such nature that वो container में ही pack होके आते हैं और वो return नहीं कर सकते. That's why the cost of container will be added to the cost of material. Now, second point is returnable. So once the goods arrive, once the raw material arrives to our factory in the container, we can return the container back to the supplier. But in this case, generally, you know what? Either supplier will charge some amount for the container, or he might refund you the entire amount of the container. So see, two cases are possible. full amount is refundable and partial amount is refundable. When the full amount of the container is refundable and when the partial amount of the container is refundable. So let's take the same example wherein we have purchased material X for rupees 1 lakh and again returnable container. Let's say 5,000. The total bill is of 1,05,000 and it is given in the question that on return of container, full amount is refundable. Container full amount is refundable. So in this case, the amount right now we are paying 5,000 to the supplier, but we will be getting the back this 5,000 rupees back once we return the container. So our cost will be how much? Only 1 lakh. ये 5,000 हम लोग आज पे कर रहे हैं, but जैसे ही कंटेनर रिटर्न करेंगे, the supplier is going to refund us back this 5,000. So the cost of the container is zero to us. So in that case, the value of material will be how much? 1 lakh. Now let's take this situation when the partial amount is refundable. Let's say the value of material X is 1 lakh. Returnable container, let's say 5,000. Total bill is of 1,05,000. Now here in the footnote, it is given 80% amount is refundable. So what will be the value of material? 80% amount हमें refund आएगा, but 20% we have to bear the cost. So value will be how much? 1 lakh plus 5,000 into 20%. So the value will be 1,01,000. So this is all what about the cost of container. If the containers are not returnable, it means we have to bear the cost. So the amount paid from our pocket is 1,05,000. If the entire amount, see the containers are returnable and the entire amount is refunded, so nothing is paid from our pocket. So our value of material will be 1 lakh. In the third case, partial amount is refundable. They are going to refund us the 80% of the amount. So the cost from our pocket is only 20%, that is 1,000. So the value will be 1,01,000. If you guys have any doubts or queries, you guys can please post your query. I request you guys to please copy this explanation. I request you guys to please copy the explanation. Wait for a few minutes, Silesh, Parida, and I think one more student raised the hand. So just wait for a minute. Now see, there was a query from Rohan Sahu, sir. Can we say first insurance premium is added to the cost of material and subsequent premium payment not added to the... See, very simple, Rohan Sahu. Keep the thing simple. whatever the premium paid for insurance, for transit insurance, that is bringing the goods from the supplier premise to our factory, whatever the insurance premium paid for transit insurance, it will be added to the cost of material. That's it. Okay. So Rohan Sahu, I have never seen in practical life where the seller is taking the container back. Can you give an examples of goods where it is done? There are many industries wherein the containers are returnable. Always assume that commission is given in case of material costing. If the commission is given, it is related to procurement of material. So that's why it will be added to the cost of material. Yes, if the information is given in the question, you can do so. Again, the information will be given in the question, Rohit Agrawal and Sailesh Yadav. So you have to follow the instructions that are given in the question, or ऐसा कोई question नहीं है. So don't worry, guys. No, in case of material, Dharani, in case of material, the insurance, whatever that is given, will be transit insurance on procurement of material. So it, whatever the premium paid on transit insurance, it will be added to the cost of material. So don't worry. Yes, Silesh Parida. Admin sir, can you please unmute Silesh Parida? Manish sir. Yeah, Silesh, tell me.
गुड मॉर्निंग सर।
Yes.
सर अगर स्क्रैप जो आप कंटेनर बोल रहे हैं, अगर रिफंड नहीं करके उससे हम स्क्रैप सेल कर रहे हैं हम लोग।
अगर आपने स्क्रैप किया है, if the information is given and if you have scrapped the container, so the amount realized on sale of scrap will be deducted from the cost of material.
सर अगर वो स्क्रैप सेल में कॉस्ट से ज्यादा में हम लोग सेल कर पा रहे हैं तो क्या होगा उस केस में?
The point is very
5,000 का
simple.
कॉस्ट।
Agar, see, if the container is non-returnable and if you are scrapping out the container, then just follow the instructions that are given in the question. If any scrap value that is realized on sale of container, again it will be deducted from the cost of material. Very simple, my dear.
सर अगर 6,000 का हम लोग स्क्रैप सेल कर रहे हैं तो 1 लाख से 6,000 माइनस हो जाएगा ना नेट?
6,000 का कैसे आप स्क्रैप सेल करेंगे जब कंटेनर 5,000 रुपए का है, आपका कॉस्ट आ गया 1,05,000. सी, लेट्स टेक दिस केस व्हेन द here it is given that the cost of container is 5,000, so the total amount is 1,05,000. Now when you are using this word scrap मतलब क्या होता है कि we are selling at a throwaway prices. So let's say 500 is realized on sale of container. तो 1,05,000 में से आप 500 लेस कर देंगे.
जी सर।
आई होप इट इज क्लियर, शिलेश.
सर मेरा पॉइंट था कि हम अगर कॉस्ट से ऊपर
कॉस्ट से
सेल कर
ऊपर कोई
सकते हैं, वो
चीज कैसे
पॉसिबल है क्या?
बेच पाओगे व्हेन द कंटेनर्स आर अवेलेबल? सो इन शॉर्ट, अगर आप कॉस्ट से ऊपर आप 10,000 में भी बेचेंगे तो वट एवर द अमाउंट रियलाइज्ड ऑन सेल ऑफ कंटेनर, इट विल बी डिडक्टेड फ्रॉम द कॉस्ट ऑफ मटेरियल.
ओके, वी गॉट इट सर।
राइट. So if you are
जी
realizing
सर। जी
10,000, my cost of
जी
material will be 95,000.
जी, ओके, गॉट इट सर।
I
थैंक
hope it is clear now.
यू। जी सर। जी
Okay. I think one more student raised the hand. I don't remember the name. Yes, Sujal, tell me. Any doubts, Sujal? No? Okay. Anyone else with any doubts? Okay, 1 second, I'll give you side. Yes, Gurmeet. It contains the it's the containers are basically the boxes wherein the goods are packed. Well said, Prem Kumar, that whatever the expenses we are incurring from our pocket to bring the material from supplier premise to our premise will be added to the cost of material. No worries, Sujal. So I think, so those who want to copy can please copy. Rosie Walia, sir, what are detention charges? Detention charges are fines or penalties levied by the government authority for non-compliance of law. I hope it is clear, Rosie. Anyone else over the portal? Those who have any queries can please post. Let me check. Mahalakshmi, Saroj Singh, Jilik Chatterjee, any doubts? So let's start. Okay, so let's start with the next point, that is shortage. So Mr. Ansari, no. Advertisement cost has nothing to do with the cost of material. It's a sales and distribution expenses. So nothing related to the cost of material and manufacturing a product. Okay, Anil, demurrage charges, again, very simple. Ignore any sort of fines, penalties, detention charges, demurrage charges, or any sort of abnormal cost will not form part of cost of raw material. See, Shailesh Yadav, whatever the cost that we are incurring from our pocket will be added, and if there is any saving, it will be deducted. So let's start with the next part. Okay, admin sir, can you please unmute Rosie?
Yes, sir.
Yes, Rosie.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me.
Nothing, sir.
You have raised your hand, that's why.
Oh, sir, it was raised earlier for detention charges. You explained it. Thank
No
you.
worries, no worries. That's okay. So let's start with the next point, that is shortage, if it is due to normal reasons or if it is due to abnormal reason. So let me discuss this with the help of an example wherein I'm a manufacturer of potato chips. I'm a manufacturer of potato chips and I do procure potatoes from farm. So potatoes are my raw material. Now see, due to the nature of product, कुछ लोडिंग अनलोडिंग में सर्टेन पोटेटोज डैमेज होते ही हैं. There are chances of scrap, wastage, pilferage, whatever it is. So it's the nature of the product or production process कि कुछ परसेंट पोटेटोज डैमेज होते ही है. So we call it as normal reasons. So when talking about if there is shortage due to normal reason, then the value will be absorbed by good units. So in this case, value of normal shortage will be absorbed by good units. So let's say I have purchased 10,000 kgs of potatoes. अब it's the nature of the product that loading होगा, unloading होगा, loading होगा, unloading होगा, उसमें 5% potatoes damage हो जाएंगे. We can't avoid it. So it's the nature of the product. So whatever the cost paid for 10,000 kgs will be borne by 9,500 kgs. So let's say I purchase 1,000 kgs at the rate 1 lakh. I purchased 1,000 kgs at the rate, at the total amount of 1 lakh. So what's the cost per unit? In this case, the cost per unit is how much? 100 rupees. I purchased 1,000 kgs at the rate 1 lakh rupees. So how much is the cost per unit? 100 rupees per unit. Now, due to the nature of the product, generally company has assumed that 20% will be the normal loss. So due to the nature of the product, the company has assumed that there is normal loss that is bound to happen. We call it as the normal loss, that is 20%. So 200 kgs were damaged, and in short, we have only 800 kgs in the hand. So very simple, guys. The cost of this 1 lakh will be absorbed by these 800 kgs, and accordingly, my cost per unit will be how much? 1 lakh divided by 800. So due to this normal loss, my cost will per unit will shoot up, and the cost will be how much? Instead of 100 rupees per kg, it will be 125 rupees per kg. So it means what? The loss or shortage of 200 kgs will be borne by remaining 800 kgs. So if it is due to normal reasons, see another example, let's say I'm into business of processing of crude oil. Now, during the conversion of crude oil into petrol, diesel, or whatever it is, certain percentage is evaporated. We can't avoid it. So this is what we call as shortage due to normal reasons. Another example, let's say I'm the manufacturer. Enough, this much is more than enough. So very simple, guys. If it is due to normal reason, then it will be absorbed by good units, or we can say the balance units. But let's say if it is due to abnormal reason. Yes, Priyanka, well said. So if the shortage is due to abnormal reasons, so let's say I'm the manufacturer of potato chips from potatoes. I do procure these potatoes directly from farm. Due to the nature of the product, कुछ percentage damage हो सकते हैं, हो जाते हैं, so we will ignore it. And the balance will be the cost, the total cost will be absorbed by balance units. But let's say during transit from farm to my factory, two of my vehicles met an accident and there is a loss of 500 kgs. So ये जो accident हुआ है, it is due to carelessness of driver or whatever it is. So we could have avoided it. So again, if it is due to abnormal reason, then whatever the loss that is due to abnormal reasons will be transferred to costing P&L. So if there is any shortage due to abnormal reasons, will be transferred to costing P&L. So let's say 500, the same example, we purchase 1000 kgs at the rate 1 lakh. So per unit cost is rupees 100. Let's say 600 kgs were damaged due to abnormal reasons. So 600 into 100, 60,000 will be transferred to costing P&L. So if it is due to normal reasons, it will be absorbed by remaining units. If it is due to abnormal reason, then product cost inflate nahi hoga, raw material ka cost inflate nahi hoga. Simply the proportionate value will be transferred to costing P&L. I request you guys to please copy. So Yukta, when talking about the normal loss, it can be predicted well in advance depending upon the market pattern, the company's past experience. Shortage means ki we purchase raw material of 1000 kgs, but we are getting only 958 kgs in our hand. This is what we call as shortage. Yes, Manisha Prajapati. Edwin sir, can you please unmute Manisha Prajapati?
So what is written in the last line of normal reasons?
So normal reasons, the
Absorbed
value
by.
of normal shortage will be absorbed by good units or balance units.
Okay, sir.
Okay.
Okay, sir.
And if it is due to abnormal reason, then we will not inflate the cost of raw material or purchase of raw material. The proportionate amount, we will transfer it to costing P&L.
Okay, sir.
I hope it is clear to all. Priyanka, Yukta, Rohan, Anil, Shailesh, Rosie, Tanvi, Gurmeet, Gayatri, Sujal, Prem Kumar. Anyone having any doubts? Yes, Aditya, well said. It's correct. Okay, Medha. So, very simple. If it is due to normal reasons, the total amount will be absorbed by balance unit. If it is due to abnormal reason, the proportionate amount will be transferred to costing P&L. I'll be discussing this part in detail in process costing also, so don't worry. So we are done with the valuation of material. So let's take a quick sum up of what all the points we discussed. Trade as a discount, it is to be deducted. Quantity discount, it is to be deducted. Cash discount, not to be deducted. Thereafter, we discussed if it, one second. Road tax and toll tax, if it is borne by the buyer, that is, if it is borne by us, then it will be added to the cost of material. GST, if the duty credit is available, ignore. If the duty credit is not available, it will be added to the cost. The same goes for the custom duty. Further, any sort of fines, penalties, detention charges, or by any abnormal cost will not to be added to the cost of material. Insurance charges, commission paid on purchases, and freight inward, it will be added to the cost of material. The cost of container, if it is returnable, if it is non-returnable, full cost. If it is returnable, I have already discussed in detail. Shortage, if it is due to normal reason, the raw material cost will be inflated. If it is due to abnormal reason, very simple, the proportionate amount will be transferred to costing P&L. I hope you are thorough with the concept of valuation of material. I have given enough of examples. Now let's start with illustration number 1 of study material. So I request you guys, I'll be discussing 2 questions of study material. Thereafter, I'll be putting up a question in front of you, and I want every one of you to solve the question. So let's start with illustration number 1. The page number is 2.15. So giving you 2 minutes time, please open your study material. Now I'll be discussing more of the practical part. So giving you 2 minutes time, please open your study material. Thank you so much, Priyanka. No, everything will be given in the question, Rohan Sahu. No need to do any exercise. Everything will be given, that it is normal shortage or abnormal shortage. Gurmeet, I'll be discussing this part in detail, so don't worry. In process costing, you can just refer the study material over the portal, Medha. Avinash, it is 1 lakh divided by 800. I got 125. So page number 2.15 of the revised study material, an invoice in, okay, I'm sharing the screen for your reference. Few students don't have study material. So, an invoice in respect of consignment of chemical A and B provides the following information, wherein chemical A, it is 10,000 kgs at the rate 10 rupees per kg, and when talking about chemical B, sorry. So chemical A, it is 10,000 kgs at the rate 10 per kg, and chemical B, it is 8,000 kgs at the rate 13 rupees per kg. Basic custom duty is 10% and the credit is not allowed straight away given in the question. Railway freight is 3840 and the total cost is 2,28,240. A shortage of 500 kgs in chemical A and 320 kgs in chemical B is noticed due to normal breakage. You are required to compute the rate per kg of each chemical, assuming 2% provision for further deterioration. So this is all what about this question. So let's start with this question. So we need to calculate the value and quantity, then only we'll be able to calculate the cost per unit. So there are two calculation of quantity first. There are two chemicals A and B. So quantity purchased is 10,000 and 8,000 kgs. This is the quantity we purchased, that is 10,000 and 8,000 kgs, of which there is a normal shortage. There is a normal shortage. It is given in the question straight away, that is 500 and 320 kgs. So this will be 9,500 and this will be 7,680. Now further the question is that we have to make a provision of further 2% of for deterioration. So here in provision of 2%, because there are chances कि जब मैन्युफैक्चर करने जाएंगे, रॉ मटेरियल निकालेंगे तो कुछ और शॉर्टेज आएगा. So they said that let's make a provision of 2%. That is 190 in case of A. So this is the net quantity in our hand. Now, when talking about the value, when talking about the calculation of cost per unit, the total amount paid for 10,000 kgs is at the rate 10 rupees. So it will be 1 lakh. And it is 1,04,000. Further, the custom duty paid is at the rate of 10%. So it is 10,000 and it is 10,400. Further, the railway freight is paid 3,840. So railway freight किस पे लगता है? Raw material purchase पे. So aggregate fare is given, that is 3,840. So we will distribute it in the ratio of quantity. So it is 10,000 kgs, it is 8,000 kgs. So we have distributed in the ratio of 10:8. So this will be 2,133. This will be 1,707. So this is how we will get the total amount. That is 1,10,000 plus 2,133. So we have got the total cost. If we divided it by quantity, that is the quantity as calculated. So this is 9,310 and 7,526.4. So we will get the cost per kg. So this will be 15.43. This will be 12.04. If you guys have any doubts or query, you guys can please post your query. Further deterioration at the rate of 2%, it's a normal loss only. Rosie, I have distributed the railway freight 3840 or 3810, whatever it is, in the ratio of 10:8. Admin sir, can you please unmute Manisha Prajapati?
Sir, how have you determined this ratio 10:8?
See, we have purchases A and B, 10,000 kgs of A and 8,000 kgs of B. So it means 10:8. I hope it is clear. Manisha, it's not a penalty, it's a provision.
Okay, sir, got it.
Okay. Mohan, it's not a penalty, it's a provision. The solution is there in the study material, so no need to copy. So anyone having any doubts in this part, if you guys have doubts, please let me know. Else now I'll be putting up a question in front of you and I want everyone to solve the questions. So right now I'm giving you time. Whatever the queries you have relating to valuation of material, you guys can please post your queries. Rest. Deterioration means kharab hona, Vishal. So there are chances that while we are issuing the material from stores, there are chances that some material will be damaged because of the nature of material. So that's why the companies make provision. It's up to you, Gurmeet. So let's start.
सर
Yes.
सर ट्रेड डिस्काउंट माइनस होगा ना, लेस होगा ना?
Right now, please don't raise. Admin sir, please mute. Just give me some time. Oh, sorry, guys. I hope it is clear. Sorry. So this is the question for you guys. Thank you so much, Salesh, and thank you so much, Rohan. Anyways, so the purchase price of the material is 2 lakh. The trade discount at the rate of 5% is 10,000. So the net amount is 1,90,000. These are the CGST and SGST. So it's total 2,09,000. Now, additional cost, road tax and toll tax borne by the supplier, that is 5,000. Transit insurance 3,000. Carriage inward 2,000. Returnable containers are 6,000. Two-thirds amount is refundable. Detention charges are 3,000. Now, traffic challan due to violation of traffic rules borne by the buyer, that is our company, that is 2,000. The normal shortage is at the rate of 5%. You are required to calculate the value of material X if the dealer is a registered dealer and if it is an unregistered dealer under GST. I hope the board is visible to all and the question is visible to all. So giving you 2 to 3 minutes time. So please post your answers. Do mention the total cost also, Prem Kumar and Priyanka. I request you guys to please mention the total cost first, Prem Kumar and Priyanka. Yes, Saroj Singh, Mahalakshmi, Mohammad Ansari, Avinash, Chilik Chatterjee, do post your answers. So I've received answers from Prem Kumar, Priyanka, Yukta, Dharani, Anubhav. Do post the total calculation also. Gayatri, Bharat, Shreya. I'm surprised that I think most of the answers are incorrect. Yes, quantity will be this much only, Mohan. I've got answer from Mohammad Parvez, Mohan, Tanvi, Aditya, Charan, Anubhav, Rajiv, Silesh. Rosie, Bharat. So fine, enough of time for this question. Now let me discuss the solution. Tanvi, let me discuss the solution first. So I'll be taking each and every point one by one. When talking about registered dealer, what we will do with GST, I think most of the students were not able to answer. So my point is, first question, everyone, what we will do with GST? Will the GST be added to the cost or not? Yes or no? I'm talking about registered dealer. Yes, very good, Yukta. Very good, Rajiv. Anubhav, we have to ignore, yes, ignore, we have to ignore, yes. Very good. So GST is clear. So see, 2 lakh is our purchase price. The trade discount will be deducted, that is 5%, that is 10,000. So 1,90,000 is our cost, and GST will not form part of cost of material. Very good. So GST will be ignored. Now, first point, road tax and toll tax borne by the supplier. What is to be done? Guys, tell me. Will we add or not add? Very good. Ignore, 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 not add. Very good. Very good, everyone. So, ignore. Transit insurance, 3,000. Yes, next, everyone. Transit insurance. Very good. Add. So, 3,000 is my transit insurance. Carriage inward, again 2,000. Carriage inward is 2,000. Then returnable container, 2/3 amount is refunded. So how much will be the cost of returnable container? Everyone? Very good, everyone. So 2/3 amount is refundable. It means 1/3 will form part of our cost. 2/3 हमको वापस मिल जाएगा. So हमारा cost कितना होगा? 1/3. So 6,000 divided by 3. So 2,000. Now, next point, detention charges 3,000. What to do? Very good. Ignore, ignore, ignore. No need to add, Shreya. It is to be ignored. Abnormal cost. Well said. So, we will ignore. Now, next point, 2,000. That is the traffic challan paid. Very good. We will ignore. Being an abnormal cost, we will ignore. So, what will be the total now? 197 will be the total in case of registered dealer, divided by my normal quantity. See, 1,000 is the input, minus 5%, there is a shortage. So this will be 950. So 1,97,000 divided by 950, this will be the value. So in case of registered dealer, the value will be how much? 207.37. Now, in case of unregistered dealer, very simple, the GST paid will be added to the cost of material. So in short, my cost is 1,97,000. In this, we will add the GST paid, that is 19,000. 1,97,000 plus 19,000. So this will be 2,16,000 divided by 950. If you guys have any doubts in this part, you guys can please post your query. Very good, everyone. That's what I'm saying, Priyanka, that many students were not able to post the correct answer. Very good, Avinash. Very good, Jilek. Anyone having any doubts now, you guys can please post your queries, whatever the queries you have. $1,000 minus 5%. 5% is the normal shortage. Very good, Govardhan. Okay, returnable container, how come 2000? See, the cost of returnable container is how much? 6,000. Now, 2/3 amount is refundable. It means 1/3, that is the balance amount, is to be borne from our pocket. It is to be paid from our pocket. So 6,000 into 1/3, 2,000. I hope it is clear to all. Anyone having any doubts or queries, you guys can please post your queries. Manish Srivastav, I hope it is clear now. The first answer is 1,97,000 and the second answer is 2,16,000. 19,000 is the GST paid. That is 9,500 plus 9,500. This is the GST amount. Since to an unregistered dealer, GST will be added to the cost of material. So 1,97,000 plus 19,000 for GST. If it is an unregistered dealer, so the duty credit will not be available. So the GST paid will be added to the cost of material. $1,000 minus 5%. This is how I got 950 kgs. 1,000 minus 5%. $1,000 is the quantity. See, 1,000 purchase quantity is 1,000 at the rate 200 rupees. There are questions, sir, road tax and toll tax, why it is not added? Because it is borne by the supplier. जो supplier है, seller है, वो pay कर रहा है. We are not paying from our pocket. That's why we have ignored road tax and toll tax. Mohammed purchased 1,000 is the quantity that is purchased at the rate 200. So this is how I got 2 lakh. See, detention charges, it's an abnormal cost. Even if the question is silent, we have to ignore detention charges, penalties, fines, by whatever name called, it will not form part of cost of raw material. So Shreya, hopefully your query is resolved. Yes or no? Mr. Mohammed Parvez, your query is resolved. Normal shortage, see, I have taken it. 1,000 minus 5%, we have taken the net quantity, that is 950 kgs. So 1,97,000 is the total cost divided by 950 kgs. Yes, we have to. Dharani. Yes, Rohan. Rohit Agrawal, hopefully your query is resolved. That why I have not taken 2,000 and 3,000, it is an abnormal cost. So that's why we have to ignore. Okay, admin sir, can you please unmute Manisha Prajapati?
Sir, actually, I added 5,000 in the amount because it was not given in the question. So, what if the question is silent about road tax?
See, it is borne by the supplier. If it is borne by us, then it will be added to the cost. If the question is silent, you can write a footnote that since it is given in the question, so it is assumed that we are bearing the cost of road tax and toll tax.
Okay, sir.
Right? So 5,000, it is clearly mentioned that it is borne by the supplier, that we have ignored. Detention charges, anyways, we have to ignore because it's a kind of abnormal cost. Traffic violation challan, what, even though we are paying for it, but since it's an abnormal cost, that's why we have to ignore.
Yes, sir, my humble request, after writing something on the whiteboard, can you please tell us to take screenshot?
Yes, I'll be giving you time to take the screenshot. Don't worry.
Okay, sir.
Anyone else with any doubt? Anyone else with any doubts or queries? Yes. If the shortage is abnormal, then kuch to kam hota na khushi. So I repeat again, road tax, it is being borne by the supplier. That's why we have ignored. Transit insurance, it is to be added. Carriage inward, it is to be added. The cost of returnable container, the amount that is borne by us is to be added. So 2,000. Detention charges being an abnormal cost, it is to be ignored. Traffic violation challan, again, it is an abnormal cost, it is to be ignored. I hope everyone query is resolved. Anyone else with any doubts or queries? I just want everyone to be thorough with the concepts. We'll be discussing many more. Wait for some time. Aditya. Yes, those who are over portal, anyone having any doubts and queries? Jilik, hopefully your query is resolved. Avinash, I already mentioned that if the question is silent, you can write it as a footnote. So guys, enough of discussion on valuation of material. We are done with valuation of material. So let's proceed further with the next part of the chapter, wherein what all records the storekeeper has to maintain. So we are done with the first part, that is procurement of material. Second part, that at what value the material will be recorded in books of accounts. We have discussed each and every point, even a minute point also. We have discussed everything in detail. So there are no chances of mistakes in exams. Do revise what I have discussed. I'll be discussing few more practicals also. So don't worry. So we are done with the valuation of material. Now let's discuss with the next part. I request you guys to please take the screenshot first. Thereafter, I'll be erasing this part and we'll be starting with the next part. So please take the screenshot. So let's start with the next part, wherein we'll be discussing what all records the storekeeper or the company has to maintain related to material. Janvi Panchal illustration number, railway freight point, I've already discussed that it is to be distributed in the ratio of quantity of material, that is 10,000, 8,000 kgs. So the ratio will be 10:8. Now see, when talking about the records the company has to maintain, the first one is bin card. The first one is bin card. Second one is stock control card. And the third one is stores ledger. These are the records that the company do maintain? It's more of a theory question, so just discussing the points in detail. When talking about the bin card and the stock control card, these two records are maintained by the storekeeper. The first point is, it is maintained by the storekeeper. Second point, it contains only quantitative data, nothing related to money. कितने पैसे का है, it at what value, again they will not be, it will not be recorded. It will contain only the quantitative data of the material. So in this, the storekeeper maintain the quantitative data related to receipt of material, issue of material for production, and if any material is returned back to store, then it is to be recorded. So bin card and stock control card कौन maintain करता है? First point, storekeeper. क्या maintain करता है? It contains only the quantitative data, that is कितनी quantity का raw material आया, that is how much quantity of raw material is received. Second point, how much quantity of raw material is issued for production, and if any raw material is coming back, then the details of the material returned. So very important, bin card and stock control card only contains the quantitative data. उसका value क्या है? Nothing to do with this bin card and stock control card. Now, when talking about the stores ledger, it is not maintained by the storekeeper. Stores ledger is not maintained by the storekeeper, but it is maintained by the accounting department of the company. Further, it contains the quantitative data and monetary data relating to receipt, issue, and return of material. That is, कितना quantity issue किया और उसका क्या value होगा. So, it contains the quantity and the value of material received, issued, and returned from material received and issued and returned from of stores. If you guys have any doubts till now, you guys can please post your queries. Very simple, bin card, stock control card maintained by the storekeeper. In this, storekeeper maintain only the quantitative data related to raw material, that is receipt, issue, and return of material. But stores ledger, it is maintained by the accounting department. It contains the quantity as well as the value of material received, issued, and returned to stores. Now the point is, what is the difference between the bin card and stock control card? ये दो कार्ड क्यों मेंटेन करते हैं? When talking about bin represents a container or a space. Bin क्या represent करता है? एक container और एक space represent करता है. And for every container or space, a separate card is maintained. That is what we call as bin card. Let me discuss this with the help of an example. Let's say I have taken a big premise on rent, a huge premise on rent. And let's say there are 20 sections in that premise. Or we can say 20 racks in that premise. Or we can say 20 rooms in that premise. So each room will be treated as a separate bin. I repeat again, I have taken a big premise on rent which have 20 sections. So each section will be treated as a separate bin और उस सेक्शन से कितना मटेरियल आया है, कितना मटेरियल गया है या कितना मटेरियल वापस रिटर्न मिला है, that will be recorded in a separate card known as bin card. About bin represents a space or a container. So in short, उस premise में total 12 bins है, sorry 20 bins है. I have taken a premise on rent wherein there are 20 sections or 20 rooms. So 20 bin card will be maintained. And for every room or every section, one separate bin card will be maintained. So I hope it is clear. And when talking about the stock control card, वो पूरे 20 bin का summarized data जो है वो stock control card में होगा. It means पूरे premise में कितना मटेरियल आया, कितना मटेरियल गया और कितना मटेरियल रिटर्न आया, that will be recorded in stock control card. और bin card means what? Every section का क्या कहते हैं separate card maintain करेंगे, that is what we call as bin card. Yes, Priyanka, somehow somewhere we can say. I request you guys to please copy this explanation. If you guys have any doubts or queries relating to this part, you guys can please post. It's more of a theory question. Stock control card, जो 20 bin card का collective data है, that will be there in stock control card. मतलब कि पूरे premise में कितना मटेरियल आया, कितना मटेरियल गया और कितना मटेरियल वापस रिटर्न आया, that will be there in stock control card. And when talking about bin card, for every section एक separate card बनाएंगे, we call it as bin card. In stores ledger, again very important, it contains the quantity. See, ultimately stock control card का advanced version है stores ledger. Stock control card में सिर्फ quantity का data रहता है, जबकि stores ledger में quantity का भी data रहता है और उसकी price का या value का भी data रहता है. I hope it is clear, Ria. Yes, we can say it's the summary of the bin card, Bharat. जो सारा डेटा बिन कार्ड में 20 बिन कार्ड का एक साथ डेटा रिकॉर्ड करते हैं, दैट इज नोन एज स्टॉक कंट्रोल कार्ड. एंड स्टॉक कंट्रोल कार्ड का एडवांस वर्जन है स्टोर्स लेजर, वेयर इन क्वांटिटी तो रिकॉर्ड करते ही है, साथ में वैल्यू भी रिकॉर्ड करते हैं. Anyone else with any doubts or queries? Yes, Janvi, Jilek, Avinash, Mahalakshmi, Saroj, Mohammad Ansari. So first part, material procurement over. First part, material procurement over. Second part, valuation of material over. What all records the company has to maintain over. Now, next part, that is inventory control, the most important part of the chapter. Examiner do ask practical questions from this part. So the most important part of the chapter is inventory control. examiner do ask question on inventory control, the practical part of the chapter, the most important part of the chapter, the inventory control. Now, what is inventory control? Very simple. Inventory control ensure करता है कि we have sufficient stock in our stores so that our active production is not interrupted. Further, keeping in mind that there is no overstocking of stock. So what inventory control ensures that there is sufficient stock of raw material in our stores so that active production is not interrupted. Further, avoiding overstocking. So it ensures that overstock भी नहीं है और sufficient stock है कि हमारा active production interrupt नहीं हो रहा है. This is what inventory control ensures. Now the point is how to implement inventory control. कैसे inventory control को implement करना? So there are 4 ways. The last one is physical control. Ratio analysis. On the basis of relative classification. And very important, that is setting quantitative levels. This is the most important part of the chapters. In the most of the session, I'll be discussing by setting quantitative levels. So what is inventory control? Inventory control ensures that there is sufficient stock in our store so that our active production is not interrupted. Further, कहीं overstocking तो नहीं हो रहा है, वो भी inventory control check करता है. अब inventory control कैसे implement करेंगे? Either by setting quantitative levels or by relative classification, ratio analysis and physical control. Now, किसमें क्या है, we'll be discussing separately. So this part is the most important part of the chapter, that is by setting quantitative levels. So now, let me give you a brief about what all we'll be discussing in setting quantitative levels. So कुछ levels set करने पड़ेंगे. We have to set up and identify few levels. What all levels? That is very important. I'm just giving you a brief about what all we'll be discussing in setting quantitative levels. कुछ level set करने पड़ेंगे, कुछ target set करने पड़ेंगे. The first level what we will set up is that the first level what we'll be setting up is that when to place an order. Order कभी place करना है. See, order तभी place करेंगे जब हमें raw material की जरूरत होगी. But again, उतना quantity हमारे stores में होना चाहिए कि हम कोई भी situation को meet out कर ले. So, when to place an order we will be discussing. Thereafter we'll be discussing, अच्छा order place करना है ये पता है, but how much quantity to order, that we will be fixing up. Further, what should be the maximum stock level? What should be the minimum stock level? What should be the average stock level? How much should be my buffer stock? And what is my danger point? कि इसके नीचे तो stock जाना ही नहीं चाहिए. So these are the various points, or these are the various levels what we'll be discussing in this this session, and in fact, in the coming session, there will be one more session scheduled on material costing. So don't worry, mostly on Saturdays or Sundays, because again, only 2 sessions are allocated for material. So I've already requested for one more session. So mostly either on Saturday or Sunday, one more session will be scheduled for material costing, and then we'll be finishing of the chapter. So very important, this is the most important part of the chapter, that is starting quantitative levels, wherein we'll be setting few levels, that is when to place an order, how much quantity we should place an order, further what should be the maximum level of stock, what should be the minimum level of stock, further what should be the average stock, what should be the danger stock and buffer stock. If you guys have any doubts or queries, you guys can please post further, giving you a minute time to copy this explanation. Again, whatever the concepts part I'm discussing, do note it. आप screenshot भी मत लीजिए. Yes, practical questions you can take screenshot, but the concept part keep on writing along with the notes what I'm writing over the board. Again, do write your comments that what you have understood from this concept. Again, मैं पढ़ा रहा हूं और आपका अंडरस्टैंडिंग कुछ अलग होगा. So do write. जो आपको जिस तरीके से समझ में आए, do write in your notebook. Anyways, just giving you a minute time to copy everything. Please copy. Good morning, Santosh. Yes, Bhumika. So let's start with the most interesting part of the chapter, more of the practical related part. Yes, well said, Yukta. Very good. See, guys, it's 8:45. You guys need break, or shall we go ahead? Again, the part is the most interesting part of today's session. So if you guys need break, I can give you a break. Else, because I want to cover one part today. Okay, great. So most of the students are saying that let's continue, sir. बोलते ना rhythm भी break हो जाता है. Anyways, I wish I could take break because I am also a bit tired. But anyways, I just want to finish a part so that at least you have something to read and revise for the coming session. So let's start the most important and the interesting part. And again, it will help you in your practical life. Again, I'm not discussing any formulas. I'll be teaching you how these formulas are derived. See, many are studying TY, BCom or FY or SY. You must have heard about the formula economic order quantity 2AO upon C. So I'll be discussing the concept that how these formulas are derived. So let's start with the first part of setting quantitative levels. We'll be discussing how much quantity. See, when to order, I'll be discussing, but how much quantity we should order. कितनी quantity order करें जो कि हमारे लिए better रहे. So let's start with the first part, that is reorder quantity. We can call it as economic order quantity. It means how much quantity we should order. No worries. So let's start, everyone. Now let's say I have an annual requirement of 10,000 kgs of raw material. मेरा पूरे साल भर में requirement है from 1st April till 31st March. I have a requirement of 10,000 kgs of raw material. Now, if we order the entire 10,000 units in one go, let's say if we order and if we procure entire 10,000 kgs in one go. Again, very important, as and when we will receive these 10,000 kgs of raw material, ये मुझे पूरे साल भर use करना है from 1st April till 31st March. So what will happen that अगर एक साथ 10,000 kgs आ जाता है तो we have to take a premise on rent so that we can store it. So the first point, once we order the entire units in one go, again, there are many costs that will be incurred to handle these 10,000 kgs. The first cost will be, the first and the foremost cost will be to store these 10,000 kgs for 1 year. We have to procure a big warehouse. We have to take a big warehouse on rent. So my rent cost will shoot up. Second thing, very important, guys, since so much quantity is involved, so there are chances of obsolescence. Obsolescence means कि हमारा raw material outdate हो सकता है. That is 1st April से लेके 31st March पूरे एक साल में हो सकता है there are chances कि कुछ नया raw material आ जाए या better raw material आ जाए. So there are chances of obsolescence, that is raw material outdate हो सकता है. Second thing, there are chances of pilferage, that is petty theft हो सकता है. 10,000 kgs है उसमें से suppose 500 grams किसी ने ले लिया. So since so much quantity of raw material is involved, so there are chances of obsolescence, pilferage, and plus wastage also. So the major cost that is associated to handle these 10,000 kgs is first rent, second obsolescence, pilferage or wastage. Third point, very important point. See, we have procured the material in one go. So we have to pay to the supplier also for these 10,000 kgs. So since we are making the payment for entire 10,000 kgs, हमारे funds जो है पूरे साल भर के लिए block हो गए. We could have used these funds somewhere else. See, if we have borrowed money, we have to pay the interest to the bank. Apart from this, if it is our money, there are chances that we could have used these funds for somewhere else. So we can say opportunity cost is associated. So the point is it advisable to is it advisable? My question to all of you, is it advisable to order the annual requirement in one go or not? Just waiting for your answer. क्या ये advisable है कि पूरा annual requirement एक साथ order कर दे? No. Why? Because n number of costs will be incurred to handle the inventory. We can say n number of costs will be incurred to handle the inventory. We can call it as cost of carrying the inventory, or we can say carrying cost. What is carrying cost? Cost of handling the inventory. इन्वेंट्री को हैंडल करने के लिए बहुत सारी कॉस्ट एसोसिएटेड कॉस्ट इनकर होती है. So we can call it as carrying cost, or we can say cost of handling the inventory. Very good, everyone. So what all are the examples of carrying cost? The best example is rent. कि 10,000 kgs को एक साथ स्टोर करना पड़ेगा तो रेंटल कॉस्ट. Second, we can say interest. Either if we have borrowed funds, then we have to pay interest to the bank, or if it is our own fund, then we can say opportunity cost. We could have used these funds somewhere else and we could have earned some money. So opportunity cost. Plus there are chances of obsolescence. Pilferage. Waste. So it is not advisable, even recommended by all of you guys, that it is not advisable. आप लोग भी recommend कर रहे हैं कि sir it is not advisable, so I appreciate. It is not advisable that we should order the entire inventory in one go, because why? Our carrying cost will shoot up. Now, very important guys, up it is final that we have to order in parts. But guys, do make a note of it that every time we place an order, there are separate set of costs that are incurred. I repeat again, every time we place an order, there are separate set of costs that are incurred. We call it as ordering cost. Every time we place an order, again, there are separate set of costs that are incurred. We call it as ordering cost. We can say, what is ordering cost? The cost to place an order. What can be the ordering cost? See, you guys know it better that we have discussed the material procurement process. कितने सारे invoices, bills, challans issue करने पड़ते हैं. So we can say every time we place an order, एक documentation cost incur होता है. Apart from this, transportation cost, suppose if I order 1000 kgs, हर बार 1000 kgs का separate transportation. 10,000 kgs अगर एक साथ order करते, let's say 2 trucks में आ जाता. But if we are ordering in parts, then very important guys, मेरा transportation cost बढ़ जाएगा. So documentation, every time we place an order, documentation cost लगता है. Second point is transportation cost लगता है. Third point, as and when we receive the material in our premise, we have to inspect it. So again, if there are more orders, the inspection cost, separate inspector को बुलाना पड़ेगा to inspect the raw material. So again, my inspection cost will shoot up. So every time we place an order, ये सारी cost बढ़ जाएगी. If we order the entire inventory in one go, carrying cost will shoot up. Now the point is what to do. Very good, loading and unloading charges. Well said. So my point is we can't order in one go. Second point, बहुत ज़्यादा orders भी place नहीं कर सकते. So my point is we have to figure out that what quantity we should order so that my carrying cost is also minimum and my ordering cost is also minimum. Yes, well said, Dharani, that we have to find the center cost where both the costs are manageable. So ultimately what we have to do, we have to order so much of quantity so that my ordering cost is also minimum and carrying cost is also minimum. In aggregate, the total cost is minimum. So we need to order that much quantity wherein my total cost, that is ordering cost plus carrying cost, we need to order that much quantity where my total cost, that is ordering cost plus carrying cost, is what? Minimum. So 10,000 units एक बार order कर देंगे तो carrying cost will shoot up. Suppose every time we place an order, we place for 100 units only. So इतने ज़्यादा orders हो जाएंगे कि my ordering cost will shoot up. So we need to figure out that how much quantity we need to order, that much quantity wherein my total cost is minimum. That is, my carrying cost is also less and ordering cost is also less. So the answer to this question is what we call as the economic order quantity. So I hope economic order quantity क्या होता है, I hope it is clear, wherein my total cost is minimum. That is my carrying cost and ordering cost. So very important guys, I hope you are thorough with what is carrying cost and what is ordering cost. If you guys have any doubts till now, you guys can please post. Giving you 2 minutes time to copy the explanation. Yes, Rohan. Thank you so much, Priyanka. Obsolescence means outdated, मतलब outdated हो जाता है कई बार. So I request you guys to please copy the explanation. Thank you so much, Sumit. Documentation, transportation, inspection, loading and unloading charges. Thank you so much, everyone. Rohan Sau, purchase cost is irrelevant because purchase cost तो उतना ही लगना है. Assuming if there is any quantity discount, we'll work out on it. But again, assuming purchase cost is same in either of the cases. So we need to order that much quantity wherein my total cost, that is ordering cost plus carrying cost, is minimum. So now we are thorough with what is reorder quantity. Now the point is how to calculate this quantity where my ordering cost and carrying cost is minimum. So let's start with the practical exercise कि कैसे calculate करें. I hope everyone of you guys have copied everything. So now the point is how to calculate economic order quantity or reorder quantity. Now see, to calculate economic order quantity, we need 3 points. Very important points. To calculate economic order quantity की भाई कितनी quantity order करनी है, we need 3 points. The first one is the annual consumption. Annual consumption of raw material. The first point what we need is what? Annual consumption of raw material. Very important, guys. This word annual is very important. So I'm double marking in red. Annual consumption of raw material. अगर आपको क्वेश्चन में मंथली डेटा है, वीकली डेटा है, डेली डेटा है, you have to convert it annually. See, there are various factors responsible, Medha. Anyways, the first point is annual consumption of raw material. So the first point what we need is that annually हमारा कितना raw material consume होता है. Now second point we'll be needing is carrying cost per unit per annum. Again, we need what? Carrying cost per unit per annum. Again, if it is not given per unit, you have to convert per unit. If the monthly carrying cost is given, then you have to convert it per annum. So, per unit and per. Marking in red because these words are very important. Once you are writing in your notebook, Do write this word annual, per unit and per annum. Very important. So first point, annual consumption of raw material. Second point, carrying cost per unit per annum. Now the third point what we need is ordering cost per order. Ordering cost again per order. एक ऑर्डर का ऑर्डरिंग कॉस्ट कितना लगता है? So these are the 3 points that are required to calculate economic order quantity, that is annual consumption of raw material, carrying cost per unit per annum, and ordering cost per order. So let's say my annual consumption of one second guys. Let's say my annual consumption of raw material is 10,000 kgs. मेरा annual consumption है 10,000 kgs का. Further, my carrying cost is rupees 16. My carrying cost per unit per annum is 16. Further, my ordering cost per order is rupees 50. So I have the annual consumption की 10,000 units मुझे annual requirement है. मेरा carrying cost per unit per annum लगता है 16 पैसा. And further, my ordering cost per order is rupees 50. Now the point is how to figure out कि कितना quantity order करें कि मेरा carrying cost, ordering cost और total cost सब minimum है. So the point is how much quantity we should order. So let's use trial and error approach to figure out कि चलो कुछ random quantity order करके देखते हैं कि किसमें cost कम आता है. One second. So the point is how much quantity we should order. So let's use a trial and error approach कि कुछ random quantities check करते हैं और देखते हैं कि कहाँ पे cost कम आता है. So let's say let's take few situations. Let's say if I order 1,000 units in one go. Let's say if I order 2,500 units in one go. Let's say if I order 5,000 units in one go. And let's say if I order 10,000 units in one go. Now, our major object is what? Economic order quantity कर calculate करने का major object क्या है? Ordering cost and carrying cost should be minimum. So let's calculate the ordering cost first. Now, can you guys tell me that if we order 1,000 units in one go, how many times we have to place an order in a year? Waiting for your answers, guys. Very good, Vishal. Shilesh. Rajveer Rai, please check. Dharani, correct. Rohan, Aditya, Bhumika, everyone correct. Priyanka. Mohan, please check. Rest, everyone correct answer. Yes, Avinash, Jilek, Janvi, Mahalakshmi. Do post your answer. I'm checking your messages over portal. Tanvi, how come 83.33? It's not possible. So guys, very simple. My annual requirement is of 10,000 kgs. And if I order 1,000 units, एक बार में अगर मैं 1,000 units order करता हूं तो कितने orders place करने पड़ेंगे? Very simple. 10 times order करना पड़ेगा. एक बार में 1,000. अगर हमें total 10,000 चाहिए तो कितने times order place करना पड़ेगा? 10 times. So number of orders कितना time place करना पड़ेगा? Herein 10 times we have to place an order. Herein 10,000 divided by 2,500, 4 times we have to place an order. Herein 2 times we have to place an order, and 10,000 1 unit, only 1 time we need to place an order. Anyone having any doubts in this part? Okay. So since we know that this much orders we have to place in a year, so what will be my ordering cost? What will be my ordering cost if 10,000 is my annual requirement? How much will be my ordering cost in first case? 10 into 50. See, we have the ordering cost per order. So how much will be my ordering cost? In this case, it will be 500. In this case, this will be 200. In this case, it will be 100. And if we are placing only one order, my cost will be 50. So first part is over कि हमारी ordering cost आ गई है. Now second part, which cost we need to check? The carrying cost. Now guys, very important point. Very good everyone. Now very important point. Carrying cost. See, suppose we order 1,000 units in one go. Guys, do pay attention to what I'm teaching. Suppose if we order 1,000 units, in one go. So as soon as we receive these 1,000 units, our carrying cost will be incurred 16 paisa per unit per annum on 1,000 units. But see, once we receive the units, we have to issue it to the production department. हमको 1,000 यूनिट अपनी फैक्ट्री में साल भर नहीं रखना है. We have to issue it for the production. Let's say 200 units are issued. So अब हमारा carrying cost कितने पे लगेगा? 800 पे लगेगा. Again, let's say 300 more units are issued. So my carrying cost will be on 500 units. Let's say 100 more units are issued, or carrying cost will be levied on 400 units. Let's say 350 more units are issued for production. So again, the carrying cost will be levied on 50. And let's say the balance 50 units are issued for production. It means the carrying cost will be levied on 0. So my point is, ये जो 1,000 units receive हुए, क्या carrying cost पूरे time 1,000 units पे लगेगा? Yes or no? So it is not correct. It is not correct to levy the carrying cost on full 1,000 units. Now the point is, कितने पे carrying cost calculate करें? It is not advisable because 1,000 units पूरे time consistent नहीं रहेंगे. It keeps on reducing to 0. Now the point is, carrying cost किस पे calculate करेंगे? On full 1,000 units or something different? So guys, the best approach is take the average quantity. See, अगर आज, if today the carrying cost is levied on 1,000 units at the rate 16, so in future, होगा क्या future में? It will be levied on what? 0 units at the rate 16 divided by 2. So my point is very important. Carrying cost order quantity पे नहीं लगता. It is levied on average quantity. Why average quantity? Because 1,000 units पे consistently carrying cost नहीं लगेगा. It keeps on reducing. So better we should take the average quantity. So very important, guys, this carrying cost. Carrying cost is always calculated on average quantity. Now, why it is calculated on average quantity? I hope you guys are thorough with this part. So 1,000 plus 0 divided by 2, that is 500. 500 into 0.16. So how to calculate carrying cost? 1,000 plus 0. 0 लिखे नहीं लिखे एक ही बात है. So my order quantity is 1,000. My order quantity is 1000 plus 0 divided by 2 in 2.16. So this will be 80. So here in the similarly 2500 divided by 2 in 2.16. So this will be 200. 5000 divided by 2 in 2.16. So this will be 400. And 10,000 divided by 2 in 2.16. So this will be 800. So see, what we can see is, very good everyone. What we can see is that जैसे जैसे order quantity बढ़ रहा है और carrying cost is increasing. Yes, my ordering cost is reducing, but carrying cost is increasing. So we can say there is an inverse relationship between ordering cost and carrying cost. Ordering cost अगर कम होगा तो carrying cost क्या होगा, बढ़ेगा. See, herein also you can see that the ordering cost is reducing and the carrying cost, see, again inverse relationship hai. So we can say there is an inverse relationship between carrying cost and ordering cost. See, ordering cost बढ़ रहा है तो carrying cost कम हो रहा है. Now let's calculate the total cost. 500 is my ordering cost if we order 1000 kgs in one go, and my carrying cost is 80. So total cost is 580. Here it is 200 plus 200, that is 400. Here it is 500 and here it is 850. So where the cost is minimum, how much is the minimum cost? 400 rupees. And at what quantity? 2500 units. So 2500 units is a point where my total cost is minimum. Further, guys, do make a note of it that ये एक ऐसा point है 2500 units wherein we have maintained that balance, and at that point the carrying cost and ordering cost is minimum. So we can say 2500 units is my economic order quantity. Herein, first point, I have keep a check on ordering cost also, carrying cost also, and total cost also. So at economic order quantity, first point, my total cost is minimum. Further, my ordering cost will be equal to carrying cost. So ये चीज तो प्रूव हो गई कि इकोनॉमिक ऑर्डर क्वांटिटी पे होता क्या है, हमारी ऑर्डरिंग कॉस्ट और कैरिंग कॉस्ट जो होती है वो क्या होती है, इक्वल होती है. If you guys have any doubts, you guys can please No, see, I'm not talking about the purchase cost. See, purchase cost is same irrespective of the order. So the point is I'm discussing only about the carrying cost and the ordering cost. If you guys have any doubts till now, you guys can please post your query. So what we can see is, I think we have sufficient space. So conclusion क्या है? At economic order quantity, my carrying cost is equals to ordering cost and my total cost is. I hope this part is clear to you that economic order quantity hota kya hai? The quantity where my ordering cost and carrying costs are equal and the total cost is minimum. Now, अब हर बार क्वेश्चन आएगा तो आप ये सब एक्सरसाइज तो नहीं कर सकते ना कि एवरी टाइम वी विल सेलेक्ट रैंडम क्वांटिटीज एंड वी नीड टू आइडेंटिफाई दैट व्हिच क्वांटिटी व्हाट क्वांटिटी. नो नीड टू डू एक्सरसाइज. सी, एज आई टोल्ड यू दैट इकोनॉमिक ऑर्डर क्वांटिटी पे होता क्या है, ordering cost is equals to carrying cost. At economic order quantity, what? Ordering cost is equals to carrying cost. Guys, before writing the explanation, I request you guys to please copy this part. Very important. This is the concept part. Again, formula आपको book में straight away मिल जाएगा. But you should understand the concept if you are pursuing for CA. ये कोई graduation का paper नहीं है. You should be thorough with the concept because you have to apply these concepts in your practical life. In fact, in your personal business also. So I request you guys to copy the concept. Thereafter, I'll be discussing few more points. Still, we have 15-16 minutes, so I'll be able to finish this part. So giving you 2 to 3 minutes time to copy everything and do write your comments. Total cost is ordering cost plus carrying cost 500 plus 80, 200 plus 200, 100 plus 400, and 50 plus 80. I have just assumed this random quantity by a trial and error approach कि कहीं लगा तो लगा, नहीं लगा तो नहीं लगा. The purpose of taking this random quantity is to teach you guys that what is the logic behind where ordering cost and carrying cost is minimum. So, Rohit Agrawal, carrying cost is always calculated on average quantity. So quantity divided by 2 into the carrying cost per unit per annum. So anyways, guys, so now, as I said, that at economic order quantity, ordering cost is equals to carrying cost. So let's take the short form. Every time we will not write OC, ordering cost and carrying cost. See, ordering cost is OC. Ordering cost is OC. Carrying cost is, let's use the word ordering cost O, carrying cost C. So annual consumption be A. So let's take the annual consumption as A, carrying cost as C, ordering cost as O. So as I said, at economic order quantity, ordering cost is equals to carrying cost. Now, very important, ordering cost कैसे निकाला था आपने? 10,000 divided by 1,000 into ordering cost, right? See, how you calculated the ordering cost? See, in the first case, if we order 1,000 units, my annual consumption is 10,000 divided by 1,000 is my order quantity. We got 10 orders into the ordering cost. So what we did to calculate ordering cost? My annual consumption, that is 10,000 divided by my order quantity. So this is how we get the number of orders into my ordering cost. This is what we did in ordering cost. आपने ordering cost कैसे calculate किया था? A, my annual consumption, that is 10,000 units, divided by order quantity. It can be 1,000 also, or 2,500 also, 5,000 also, or 10,000 also, whatever it is. So A is my annual requirement, that is 10,000 divided by my order quantity. तो क्या आ जाएगा? Number of orders आ जाएगा. Into the ordering cost per order. This is how we get ordering cost. Now carrying cost कैसे निकालते थे आप? 1,000 units divided by 2 into carrying cost per unit per annum. So 1,000 या 2,500 या 5,000 या 10,000. So what was these quantity? These are the order quantities. Order quantity divided by 2 into carrying cost per unit per annum. This is what we did to calculate ordering cost, carrying cost. Anyone having any doubts till now, please mention. Yes, anyone having any doubts? How come I got these? See, again, there are no formulas. I'm just using the concepts. I repeat again, guys, very simple. How we calculated the ordering cost and carrying cost. Ordering cost, 10,000 was my annual requirement. Let's say my order quantity is 2,500. So 10,000 divided by 2,500, we calculated that we have to calculate 4 orders. We have to place 4 orders into the ordering cost per order. So into O. Similarly, carrying cost also, order quantity was 1,000 or 2,500 or 5,000. We divided it by 2 into the carrying cost per unit per annum. So order quantity divided by 2 into C. So this is how we calculate ordering cost and carrying cost. Now let's simplify it. Cross multiply. So 2 into A into O divided by C. ये OQ और OQ है तो ये क्या हो जाएगा OQ square. So 2 into multiplied by A multiplied by O. The C goes down. So C will go C into order quantity. I'm simplifying it more. So see, the cross multiplication, very simple guys. ये ऊपर चला जाएगा 2 into A into O. Thereafter order quantity into C. So order quantity will go here. 2 into A into O divided by C. So order quantity अगर हम लोग square हटाएंगे, so it will be under root 2 into A into O divided by C. So simply cross multiply किया है ordering cost और carrying cost के formulas को. So very simple guys, when talking about the order quantity wherein the carrying cost and ordering cost is minimum, so we call this order quantity as economic order quantity. If you guys have any doubts in this formula, you guys can please mention. Giving you 2 minutes time to understand. आप पढ़िए, दिमाग लगाइए. अगर आपको समझ में नहीं आया है तो please raise your query. But yes, just try to understand what I'm explaining. Very simple guys. A into O divided by OQ is equals to OQ into C divided by 2. So कुछ नहीं किया है, सिर्फ क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई किया है. सिर्फ क्रॉस मल्टीप्लाई किया है and I have got this formula EOQ is equals to under root 2 into A into O divided by C. Giving you 2 minutes time to understand what I did. शांति से सोचिए कि मैंने क्या किया है. Again, there are no formulas in costing. As I said, and I'll stick to my words till my last sessions, I'll not be discussing any formula. So just 2 minutes शांति से सोचिए कि मैंने क्या किया है, and then if you have any queries, then you guys can please. Giving you 2 minutes time. So now, whenever you will see a question on economic order quantity, ज़्यादा exercise करने की जरूरत ही नहीं है. Very simple. Apply this formula, you will get all the answer. But yes, why I did all this exercise to make you guys understand that, okay, how this formula is prepared. Again, there are no formulas in costing. The point is very simple. Try to memorize the concept. You should ask why I am doing this if you are pursuing for CA. You are not appearing for graduation or 11th, 12th grade. You are pursuing for CA. So you should understand that why I am doing this, why I am doing all this exercise. So that is the reason behind I did all this exercise, taking trial and error method, making you guys understand so many things. So at the end of the day, very simple. If you want to calculate economic order quantity, straight away, 2 into my annual consumption is 10,000. My ordering cost is how much? 50. My carrying cost per unit per annum is how much? 0.16. I'll get the final answer, that is 2,500. So this is the formula for EOQ. We can say carrying cost. You can easily calculate that order quantity divided by 2 into C. When talking about the formula for ordering cost, annual consumption divided by order quantity into O. So these are the various formulas that are given in study material. But again, don't try to mug up the formula. Try to understand the concept. Okay, it's bit time consuming, but yes, once you are thorough with the concepts, you can solve any questions on your own. So whatever the queries you have now in economic order quantity, we are done with economic order quantity. I'll be discussing 2 questions in the next session. Thereafter, 1 or 2 questions I'll be putting up in front of you. So whatever the queries you have, waiting for your queries, I request you guys to copy the explanation. Thank you so much, Rohan. Yes, Dharani, many more to come. Don't worry. Thank you so much. Waiting for your queries, guys. Okay, so Anubhav, very simple, my dear. Thank you so much, Gurmeet. Point 16 is what? The point 16 is given in the question, that is carrying cost per unit per annum, Rosie. Okay, so Anubhav sir, please correct me if I am wrong. In case of abnormal shortage, assume total quantity purchased is 1,000 unit, price per unit is 1, and there is an abnormal shortage of 300 units. So see, Anubhav, very simple. You have purchased 1,000 units at the rate 1. So the total cost is 1,000. If 300 units is an abnormal loss, it means what's the value of 300 units? 300 rupees. So 300 straight away will go to costing P&L, and your cost per unit will remain unchanged. That is 1 rupees per unit. It's incorrect. 1.428 is incorrect. Your cost will remain unchanged. It will be 1 unit. But let's say if 300 units is a normal loss, yes, your answer is correct. Thank you, Priyanka. Thank you, everyone. Deepdas, everyone have different pattern to teach, so I can't tell this. But yes, if you need any sort of suggestions in my teaching, I can incorporate. But rest, the other faculties are using PPT, so it's their choice. So I can't tell anyone. But yes, this is the way I find it easy and more convenient for me. That's why I teach or over the board. So guys, enough of discussion. Without break, in fact, we have not taken a break today because it was actually, I want to finish this part in today's session. So see, in your schedule, there are no more sessions for material costing, but I've already put up a request. But I've already put up the request for an additional session because I was well aware about that. See, there are so many students in the class, and apart from this, there are so many queries. So I've already informed that there will be, please try to schedule one more session for material costing because I won't be able to finish it on time. So I think you guys will be updated soon about one more session on material costing. So please do check your mails and make sure you guys are available in the next session. In the meanwhile, I request you guys to please revise what I have discussed in today's session. Again, do write your comments in your notebook. That is what you have understood from this class or this concept, whatever it is. It will help you while revising for exams. So in the next session, okay, 1 second. Yes, Priyanka, tell me. Admin sir, can you please unmute Priyanka?
Good morning, sir.
Very good morning, my dear. Tell me.
सर कह रही थी कॉस्टिंग के बाकी चैप्टर कुछ चैप्टर दूसरे फैकल्टी को दिए गए हैं। आई नो सभी फैकल्टी अच्छा पढ़ाते, पर जिस तरीके से आपने पढ़ाया है इससे कॉस्टिंग का फियर चला गया है और
Thank you so
कॉन्सेप्ट
much
भी
for
अच्छे से
that. But
समझ आ
see,
रहा है।
actually, I can take only that much of chapters because, again, I have some commitments. So I wish I could, but see, again, there are few chapters I won't be able to teach. So I'm sorry for that. But yes, trust me, all the faculties are capable enough to make you guys understand. So don't worry, Priyanka. All
Sir,
the faculties are good.
also take standard and budget and marginal costing because you said last session that these chapters are very much important.
I'll be taking standard, marginal, and budget. Don't worry.
Thank you, sir.
So I'll be taking the process costing. I'll see the major chapter: process costing, service costing, cost sheet, then marginal costing, standard costing, budgetary control. I'll be taking care of. Don't worry. So I think material and labor I'm not taking care of. Rest all the chapters. In fact, activity-based costing also I'll be taking care of. So don't worry. Most of the chapters I'll be teaching, and rest, don't worry. All the faculties are very good and capable enough to teach you guys and make you guys understand the concepts in detail. So don't worry, my dear.
पर आपके जैसे सर कोई सभी अच्छे
Nothing
पढ़ाते
like
हैं,
that,
पर
Priyanka.
आपका
Everyone is the best.
तरीका बहुत
ICAI
बढ़िया
के
है।
platform पे आप पढ़ रहे हैं, so everyone is good. Don't worry.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you, dear. So anyone having any doubt? Okay, 1 second. Sir, you are saying annual ordering cost also O. See, Rohan Sao, annual consumption is A, carrying cost is C, ordering cost is O, and the quantity what we order is VOQ or EOQ. So enough of discussion on EOQ. Please keep on checking your mails. I'll be taking one more session on material costing wherein I'll be discussing few practical concepts and few practical chapters. So till then, take care of yourself. God bless you. See you guys again. Do revise what I have discussed in these two sessions. Trust me, you guys will be thorough with it. So thank you so much for your time and patience and for active participation in the session. Yes, do participate in the session and make sure you guys are regular and punctual. काफी स्टूडेंट्स थोड़ा लेट ज्वाइन करते हैं, काफी स्टूडेंट्स ज्वाइन नहीं करते. दे डू चेक द YouTube recorded lectures. अगर आप लाइव क्लास में लेक्चर अटेंड करेंगे, you will be able to put up the queries. So don't check the recorded lecture. Make sure most of the students should be present in the class and they can raise the queries, whatever the queries you have. ये institute जो है आपके benefit के लिए कर रहा है classes and it is free of cost. So make sure you guys are present in the session, specifically either over Zoom or over portal, so you guys can raise your queries. So thank you so much, guys. Take care. God bless you. There will be one more session on material costing. So don't worry, guys. Thank you so much. Okay, 1 second. There is a query from Anil. Yes, Anil, tell me. I think admin sir Anil है. Anil को unmute करेंगे. Yes, Anil, tell me. I hope Rohan Sao, your query is resolved.
Sir,
क्या कह रहे हैं?
orders are making for month, why should we take for carrying cost per annum?
Carrying cost तभी तो हम लोग एवरेज ले रहे हैं. As simple as that. Carrying cost you have to always take per unit per annum. कि carrying cost इतना पूरे साल भर में लग रहा है तो average quantity we take accordingly multiplied with by carrying cost per unit per annum.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else with any doubts or queries? Let me check. Rohan, hopefully your query is resolved. I'll be taking a separate question, Kaushik, so don't worry. Medha, you can download the material from the portal. Obsolescence cost is, we can say, the outdated cost. See, जो outdate हो जाता है raw material, उसका obsolescence cost बोलते हैं. So thank you so much, guys, for your time and patience. See you guys very soon. In the meanwhile, do revise what I have discussed. Take care. God bless you guys. Yes, sir. Over. थोड़ा आज
Have a
break
good
नहीं
day,
ले पाया.
sir.